Hey everyone, it's Shanna. So I'm going out to the garden right now. I've got a few things out there that are ready to be picked. It's kind of at the odd point, I guess, of the season where everything is really starting to take off. However, some things took off quicker than others. So I just have a few things that I want to get out of the garden. My toxic trait in years past was I didn't properly store things. So we would have a lot of stuff, like right now we have green beans. There's not a whole lot of them, but if I leave them on there to wait for everything else to catch up, then those will go bad. So I never took the time to properly look to see how to store them. That way I could just like build up a batch. So that is my goal this year, is to be resourceful and useful of everything that comes in the garden. So I do have a few green beans. Very excited about that. This is our first time that we've actually grown green beans successfully, and we've done it in a contained garden. I'm really happy about this. I mean, this thing is like just dripping with green beans. So I did a little bit of research. I'm actually going to pick them and I'm going to blanch them, and then I'm going to freeze them. And just as I get more and more coming through, I'll just do the same and just kind of build up a batch. I'm really excited about it. The other thing that it needs to be picked is I've got a couple bell peppers, and I know they're puny right now, but I mean, this thing was, when we bought this plant, this big one right here was teeny tiny already. So it needs to come off of there. And then on our dollar Atwood plants, this guy came up. Super excited about that. Also, update on the ants. Tried the suggestion. I did cream of wheat and we did cinnamon. And from what I understand, the cinnamon is more like a barrier. They don't like to cross the cinnamon. I did read somewhere today, one of our subscribers said that they also can't inhale the cinnamon, digest it properly. Anyways, I did cream wheat, we did cinnamon, it did not work. So what we did was piping hot boiling water. Like, I got it going in the kitchen, and we came right out here and poured it on. 2 times of doing it, Reed would like hit it with a stick and I'd pour it down in the hole, and the next day we came out and they are gone. G-O-N-E, gone. So I am so happy that we finally found a way that we can kill any ants or anything in the raised beds. So I'm gonna get these picked off, and then I'll take you guys inside and show you what I'm gonna do on blanching the green beans. Everything looks great. Okay, so now we still have our mystery plant back here. And some of y'all, I did water the garden this morning. It looks really super dry, and I sat there and I watered it for 15 minutes, but Texas heat for you. So this is our mystery plant. Some say okra. No, some said a sunflower. Some people said they think it is a cantaloupe or honeydew, which isn't too far-fetched because I did plant one, a honeydew melon, but I don't know where I planted it. Anyways, so I'll give you a close-up of the leaves so you guys can see it. I don't think it's a vine plant because it's not growing as a vine. It's just kind of growing up. So we've got sunflower, honeydew, and maybe a squash plant. If whatever it is, if it's not like something we planted, it's voluntary, which this garden has been moved around so many times. We used to have all the cucumbers and stuff on the front of the garden. The tomatoes were on the back of the garden. We had, I mean, everything's been moved around. So I don't know. However, I do think this is a cucumber that's coming up beside it. I'm just hesitant to pull this. I just don't know what it is. It may just be one gigantic weed. Anyways, I'm gonna pull the green beans. Look at how good everything looks. Everything's greening up. I know that I saw a tomato. These are our dollar clearance plants from Atwood's, the tomato plants. Oh yeah, here we go. There's one right there. Little bitty baby tomato. Got my sidekick in here. So everything's looking good. All right, let's get these picked. Okay, not too many, enough though. There's still plenty on there. Probably in the next day or two they'll be ready, but yeah, I'm happy with that. So I'm gonna get these peppers off of there. I'll just dice these and then put them in a baggie also. Oh, that one just came right off. Look at that. Pretty awesome, isn't it? Okay, so I'm back inside. And it's that time of year again that the AC is running and it's gonna be loud in the kitchen. I'm sorry. I didn't want to not record because it's so loud in the kitchen. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to blanch the green beans. I've never done this before, so a quick Google search helped me. And the consensus was that it's better to blanch them before you freeze them for long-term storage. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, as you can see, it's not that many. It's just a handful. But a handful at a time adds up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the ends. And then I've got a pot of water boiling over here. And then once it boils and I get the ends cut off, then you put them and submerge them in the water for 2 to 3 minutes. There's Reed Man.
I got a new thumb release.
He got a new release for his bow. He's really excited about it. He's been practicing. You guys have seen all the archery videos, but this is a new thing for him, and he's been practicing really hard, and he just stuck his finger in the hot boiling water. Anyways, so cut the ends off, blanch it, and then you submerge them in cold water, and then you let them dry. What I'm gonna do with the peppers, I'm just gonna dice them up and put them in a Ziploc baggie. Nothing fancy there. Once they get bigger and I get a lot more of them, I'll probably slice them into like fajita strips. But for now, we'll just dice those and then I can use them in whatever I find to use them in. Okay. Quit rambling, Shanna. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get some ice water and I'm going to cut the ends off and then I'm going to wait for this to boil. Okay, so I will preface by telling you guys that I'm not a gardener. I didn't grow up gardening. I don't really know a whole lot about it, but I know that I enjoy it and I'm willing to do a lot of trial and error. Like I said at the beginning of the video though, in years past, I let a lot of things go to waste, and I'm not proud to say that, but it is the fact because I did not do my due diligence and research how to properly store things, or like I said, you know, a little bit would be ready and I was in my head thinking I had to wait for a lot of it to be ready, and then the little bit that was ready was not good anymore. So this year I have made a vow to myself and to the family that I'm going to take my time to properly store things, and then it will all add up. Alright, the water is boiling. I've cut all the ends off, and so now I'm going to put it into the water and let it boil. So as I was saying, I don't like the blanching process. I assume is just for preservation. So I want to go ahead and do it. My next question to you guys, a lot of people on here garden, is so we're gonna have a ton of tomato plants this year. Tons. We planted like 15 or 20 tomato plants. in years past, like I said, I would have tomatoes, I wouldn't have anything to do with them, and we would just give them away or give them to the chickens. But this year I really want to start canning hot sauce, and I want to try my luck at tomato sauce. So here's the question. Can you freeze tomatoes before, like, to store them up and to like get a good bulk before you do the marinara sauce or tomato sauce or hot sauce? Can you store them and freeze them and then use them once you have a good supply going? Does that make sense? Or do I need to blanch them first? That's my question, because I want to utilize all the tomatoes that we have. Okay, it's been boiling for about 1 or 2 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and pour the water out, and then I'm going to blanch them. I'm going to put them in water, and then I'm going to put them on a pan, and I'm going to let them rest and put them, I'm actually going to put them in the freezer for about an hour, and then I'll put them in the baggie, and then they'll be ready to go in the freezer. Okay, the green bean, or the bell peppers are done. It's not a lot, but it's enough for if I were to add it into a soup or something like that. So I labeled it, suck the air out of it. It's ready to go in. Now I'll just lay the green beans out on a freezer or a pan, put it in the freezer for about an hour, and then I'll put them in a freezer bags and into the freezer they go. So I'm excited. I'm excited I have a plan this year. I'm excited that if my garden is fruitful and gives to me, then I need to actually utilize them all. So I'm excited about that. All right. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Hey guys. Okay, so we're outside right now. And we just got done mowing, and we're about to move the meat chickens from there to there, which is probably like 1/4 of an acre lot. And it's going to give them more room. They've mowed through that little section that we had them in pretty quickly. And if you've been with us, you know that the main reason we ordered the chickens that we did was for them to be free ranging and foraging and all those things and acting like real chickens. So we just wanted to give more room. This area right here is pretty much dead space because our leach lines from the septic tank are right here. So it's kind of a perfect spot because we don't put anything in here. The only thing that's going to happen is Skylar's not going to have her track that she runs. And
hopefully she doesn't hit it while
that's what I was thinking. Hopefully she doesn't run into the fence. So the plan is we ordered some fencing off of Amazon. We needed to be 100 foot long, a little bit less than 100 foot long, and about 4 feet high. And unfortunately, everything at Home Depot was sold out. I looked at Home Depot, I looked at Walmart, I looked everywhere, and the longest roll they had was 25 feet, and we obviously needed more than that. So Tobin found this on Amazon. How much was it? $42? Yeah. For 100 foot, and it's 4 feet high. So the plan is to take it from that fence to 1/2 to 3/4 of the way, and then we're going to put a dog panel right here that has a gate, and then their actual house is going to be right here. Now the fun part is we're just going to open the gate and hopefully shoo them in here.
They haven't eaten since this morning, so they're going to be hungry. So I have a feeling that they'll follow us, but we'll see.
And then hopefully our big chickens don't get mixed in because it's kind of hard to tell them all apart now. Whatever. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, we're gonna try to see if they can follow us. We got to open it the other way, Reed. All right, here we go. They're all right.
Skylar, go.
Well, that didn't work. So we're gonna take their house and move it over here with the hopes that they'll follow it. So we'll see, fingers crossed. If not, we'll just have to grab each one and bring them up. All right. We got the house moved over. We're gonna close off majority of it and then hope that they will come over here. They're kind of staying over there in the area that they originally were in. Our big chickens have not even noticed them. If Big Red was here, she would definitely notice them. So the plan is we're just gonna keep building their pen and then eventually working them over this way. May take a little bit of time, but we'll get them there. We may have to use one of the dog panels to like corral them.
All right, y'all, the meat chickens are not cooperating with the move. We took down all their shelter and stuff and have moved it, but they're still just not sure what to do. So we got more kids in the pool. They're about to get out and come help us. Y'all come help us.
We formed a human chain. It's the good thing about having so many children. They help you. So they're all in here, and actually that went a lot smoother than we anticipated. So we're gonna get them fed and get them watered. They're not stressed too much, but it's done. Thank goodness. They are in their new home. They seem to be enjoying it. It's a lot more grass, which is what we were wanting for them. Oh, it was a lot of work. These guys should be ready, we're thinking, by the end of June, so the next 6 weeks. There are some that are going to be pretty big. We did have one, I don't know if you guys remember when we first got them, we had one chick that almost acted like it had a seizure often, like several times a day, but it was thriving and it was getting around and it was fine. But then in the last week or so, we had noticed like it was substantially smaller than the other ones. He could not walk on its left leg at all. And we just noticed that it was probably time to cull him. It wasn't a matter of if he was suffering, but he was not thriving at all. He was substantially smaller. But we went out today and it looks like he passed away on his own. So, I mean, it's for the better. It's not enjoyable to cull things, so I'm thankful that whatever it was, you know, he went out on his own. So that leaves us, I think, I don't know, I need to count them. I think we have like 36 meat birds, and then 5 or 6 of the hens are in there, which I think we're going to introduce them to the big flock this weekend. They're I think they're big enough. They'll be okay. Big Red's not with us anymore. She was the one that would always kill them at this stage. In fact, when we had them all out earlier trying to get them in this pen, our other chickens kind of intermingled with them and never really did anything, which was typical for the flock, except Big Red. She was a bully. So anyways, I think we're going to introduce them to the flocks. I don't really want them in with the meat birds. The meat birds are kind of getting disgusting, nasty, and I would just like to separate them. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, follow, like our page, share our videos, anything to help us out. We appreciate the support, and we will see you guys again. Bye.